You want to make sure that the church is a biblical church. You want to make sure that they teach from the Bible and use Bible concepts in everything they do. Now, I know not all churches are perfect in this matter, but the closer that the church is to the Bible, the better the church. You also want a spiritual church. You don't want to go to a church that is all fun and games or a social club. For that matter, join the YMCA or some kind of club. But no, if you want a good church, it's got to be spiritual. By this I mean that they study the Bible. By this I mean that they have prayer sessions, they pray. They fellowship in love, in the Word, prayer, and the preaching of the gospel. This is very important. Number 3 is a very, very important point also. When looking for a good church, you must look at the history behind that church or that denomination, or for that matter, that religion. You see, some people will tell you, join our church. Our church is great. Our church is the only one. Our church is special, and so forth. But when you study the history of that church or that denomination or that religion, you will find sometimes that things are not what they seem to be. There are people that are very proud of their beliefs, their denomination, and even the type of theology that they practice. But what they won't tell you is that the history points to many of these churches, many of the denominations as coming, and many of these religions as coming from a bloodthirsty, persecuting church. If that denomination has a history of persecution, even if it's 100, 200, 500, 600 years, it doesn't matter. If the church persecuted, then its foundation was not good. And so you need to understand that if the church was a persecuting church, you cannot deem it to be Christian. It might now not be persecuting, but the history behind it, the bloodstains are still there. And so avoid a church that is a persecuting church, because those churches tend to be wrong not only in persecuting true believers, but they're also wrong in their teachings. Number 4, make sure that the church is not all lovey-dovey. In other words, love everybody and everything goes. Be careful of those kind of churches that do not make a stand for the truth of the gospel and the words of Jesus Christ, but they rather fellowship with all denominations, all religions, because they are not standing on the Word of God. They're standing on a mystical love.